Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today with the May block of the month. This month's block is a really fun little tulip block. I hope you'll enjoy making it. I have quite a few things to share with you about the block today in the small block, and just pressing instructions and a few tips and tricks. And so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the May block. I absolutely love this block. It's the tulip block. And for my main quilt, my large quilt, I alternated with 4 different reds from Raspberry Summer, and then my low volumes. And then I did use pinks, and Chelsea and I have kind of been referring to this gingham. We feel like it almost falls more in the pink family than the red. You can see how it just kind of blends in really nicely here. I mean, technically it is a red, but it's just, I guess because it has so much white fabric in the gingham, it just kind of has really blended nicely as we've sewn with the pinks. So I did a red tulip and pink border, and this is the layout for the quilt. And the PDF, you can download the PDF from the blog. I will let you know that with this, I love using the mini simple folded corners ruler. It makes it so you don't need to draw any lines on these 6 background squares. You can just cut everything like the pattern says, and you can use this ruler to add them. I actually added these first, and then I alternated my pressing. So this one I pressed to the background, this one I pressed toward the red, this one toward the background, and this one toward the red, and that way the seams all nested really nicely, and I got some really nice sharp points there. But then I went ahead and put it all together before I added these last 2. I don't know why. I can't even remember. I think the pattern tells you to do it first, and that's fine too. I don't know why. I always do it last. So anyway, just a cute little tulip block, and I'll show you my other one. I actually went, you know, with the pinks and the reds. I had to use this one twice, so I guess I could have used that print. I didn't think about that. But anyway, this will be for my table runner. So let me just go ahead and just, you know, show you those again. So I've now got the 6 little table runner blocks, the house and the star flower and the heart and the sawtooth star and our tulip. So next month we'll be halfway. Next month we'll have 6 big blocks and 6 small blocks, so we'll be halfway for both projects. And actually next time I didn't have time to do it this time, but I will get my sashings ready and my corner posts ready to show you next time. I know I talked about maybe I might have that done for this time, but I didn't, so I will do that for next time. And then also, I wanted to mention that I had a really good question it actually came in as an email, and she wanted to know if there would be at least 6 of these blocks that were not directional. And so what she meant by that is, you know, the heart has to go a certain way, and the tulip has to go a certain way, and the house has to go a certain way. But these 2 obviously could be turned any way. And so the answer is yes, there are at least 6 blocks that could be considered non-directional. So I don't know if she has a different kind of a layout for that, but I thought, oh, that's something other people might be wondering too. And maybe, you know, maybe you're doing a different setting with your log cabins, and so that was why the question was asked. And there are actually, I don't actually want to say exactly how many, because there are a couple that I thought, you know, I think they're non-directional, but maybe somebody else might think it is directional. So you'll see those blocks when we get to them. But anyway, there are at least 6 that it doesn't matter which way you turn them. Okay, and then I also just want to reiterate on the pressing, since I can show you the backs. And just like I mentioned before, I pressed out, in, and I did press these seams open and press those out. And I'll show you with once it's in the log cabin, the same thing. I felt like those seams just were nice and flat if they were open. But again, if you alternate these you're pressing at the top, then those will just nest together beautifully. And then, as always, when you're adding the log cabin strips, you are always going to press out toward the strip that you add. Each time you'll press out toward that strip all the way around. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. I've really been enjoying the comments every time we post a new video with a new block, and I love hearing how many people are just really enjoying this quilt along. Okay, so that's it for the May block of the month. I hope you enjoy making your tulip block or blocks if you're doing both versions like me. It was so much fun. And again, I just am loving how this quilt is coming out in our Raspberry Summer collection, and I love it in all of the collections that you are sharing it with too. We have seen a lot of different versions in the Sherri and Chelsea Facebook group and on Instagram, and just we really, really appreciate seeing all of your versions of these blocks. I just did want to mention, had a lot of questions about these sashing, and those strips were cut at 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches for this strip and 1.5 inches for this strip. And of course, they'll be trimmed to the size of your block, which should be 18.5 inches. And just in case I didn't show it last time, I did press toward the darker print instead of the tone on tone. So anyway, we did have a lot of questions on that. Just wanted to reiterate that. And also next month, I will have one of my long sashing strips done for between the rows. Okay, if you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.